Okay, sweet. So it looks like we're live. Welcome everyone. Welcome back again to Jukes Lounge. Um, I do want to say before we get into things, my internet is being a little bit dodgy today, so I might need to take my camera off. But if that's the case, then you'll just have to look at my picture. It is what it is. We have a very special episode today, guys. This is actually going to be the first public stream on the OMNICHAIN Element 280. So everyone knows right now Titan X are going OMNICHAIN. It's been converted into X28. And I believe this is the second token, which is officially going to be going OMNICHAIN, and there's details about how it works and stuff. At least you'll find out here how it works. So without further ado, we have the founder of Helios, the founder of Element, the whole Element ecosystem. We have the dude. So let's bring on the dude. He's a recurring guest here. It's good to see him back. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, excellent.
That's good, man.
I'm super excited about launching on base. Like,
yeah,
maybe tomorrow, maybe the 8th.
Whoa.
We still don't know. Like, he put the tweet out.
That was funny. That was
so
funny. Yeah.
So we still don't know. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Even the community don't know, man. We're 50-50 split between the 6th or the 8th. So
yeah.
But it's good to know that it's basically ready. Like it's as ready as it is. So shout out to the Pereira. I might butcher his name here. The Pereira Banana. I probably butchered that name. I'm sorry, my friend. Shout out to you. Prairie. There we go. Prairie.
Yeah.
Shout out to Prairie Banana, supporting the channel. He's a big supporter of Element 280 and PTGC and stuff like that. So please check him out, guys. He's a good guy. And then we've got Keto as well. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, it's good to have Keto back. It's good to have all the OGs back. We've got Miss Whittle, always supporting the channel, biggest supporter. And we've got Utah Crypto as well in the building. Shout out to Utah. Utah, man, I'm liking the look of that stacks graph. So congratulations on everything. It's good to have you here. And I'm glad to yeah, man. I think that's everyone. We've got Helios as well. I think that might be dude.
Yeah,
but,
that's me.
Yeah, so sure, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Actually, okay, my light just fell. That's funny. Actually, what we'll do is we got we just started. I think we'll give it a few minutes for people to join. So yeah, what's your thoughts on the whole ecosystem right now, like Titan X and crypto? It's been a bit of a crazy week.
Yeah, I'm loving the chart here. Like,
do you want me to bring it up?
Yeah, here I can show you what I've got, so you can see my fancy TA here.
Oh, got some of that dude TA.
Which is not TA at all. It's like TA for kindergartners. That's what I got.
Yeah, that's what I do, bro. I just draw lines on the screen and I'm like, yeah, TA.
Yeah.
All right, let me add that up.
So this is yeah, let me zoom out. So this is Titan X with the ETH ratio, which is I pretty much only look at ETH or only the ratios. I don't really. I know it's dumb, but I don't really care about the USD. You know, like I want the ratios, and that goes for all the ecosystem tokens. So I've noticed it's got this kind of line that it's just been bouncing off from all the way back in August from our pump out of the lows. And it broke through over here. And I was like, oh shit, where are we going? And then it came back up and got rejected from this line, you know, and then came down, and I'm like, okay, here we are. We're back here again. Are we going to get rejected? Or is this the breakthrough? Is this where we really start our run back to the tops?
That's some,
you know,
that's some legitimate TA there, man. I didn't even pick up on that. So
I mean, it's super simple. Like, and this reminds me, I did this back in 2018 with Bitcoin, and I saw like there's this clear line that it was just bouncing off of in 2018 in the bear market, and I was like, I was buying every time it hit that line. I was buying like this is the bottom, and it was at like 6K, and then overnight it dropped to 3K. And I was like, well, shit. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was not the bottom. So that's why you DCA.
Yeah. He went all in, and then the next day, bang.
Yeah, which, you know, in the long run, it's fine. You know, buying in at 6K was totally fine considering we're bouncing around 100K. So I feel like that's the same thing with Titan X. Like looking at this, I'm like, yeah, this could be the bottom, or no, maybe it could go lower. But and then also just looking at the math of like how much just the V1 buy and burn can buy and burn at today's price is like, it's like 80% of the supply or something. Like it's ridiculously high. Crazy.
You know, that V1, it's like, I feel like it's just the thing that whenever price is low, you can just go to sleep at night, feel fine, because you know
Yeah.
the V1's there. You know what I mean?
Right. And a lot of people are like, well, when is he going to turn it on? And it's like, I'm pretty sure it's just a backstop. Like if we get a black swan event of some sort and we get some crazy crash, like you said, I can sleep at night knowing that, like, yeah, if we get some crazy crash, then that buy and burn could just buy up massive amounts of the supply, bring it right back to where we were, and continue on.
Yeah, if there's
without having to like use it all up, you know. So
if there's a crazy black swan, like, I don't know if Jay goes on Fresh and Fit and starts twerking in front of the camera live streaming, then maybe then, you know, we get crazy price action and buy and burn V1 turns on. Who knows?
Yeah. Right. But you know, like a lot of people really, I don't know, like they look at the buy and burn too closely, and it's like that's just one tiny little argument to why Titan X will do well, you know. And like this whole thing that we're talking about today, going on base and OMNICHAIN, like to me that's a massive milestone. Like
Massive, yeah.
You know, we can sit on that buy and burn just knowing that it's there. It can literally only do one thing, and that is buy and burn Titan X. The only question is when, you know. And that's what all the people are fussing about, is like when, like why aren't we pumping the ecosystem? Why, you know, like, because we're doing fine on its own without it. Like why not just have that as backup? And I think
look at, sorry,
I don't know Jake's mindset on it, but I think that's kind of where he's at on it. It's like we don't even need to use it; just it's there for it, just in case. But I think going to base is going to really do wonders for. I mean, just minting X28 is burning tons of Titan X. Like that's all. That's all we
exactly what I
need.
was going to say. Like, look at the amount of Titan X we're burning a day right now. Without the buy and burn V1, I think even hyper buy and burn is run dry or something. So you got, like, you know, all the we're doing like what 0.1% supply a day or something like that right now. We haven't even got anything launched on base yet. The only thing that people need X28 for right now, I believe, is Shogun. But like, that's one protocol. Think about when we actually move to base and there's things launching on base and you need your X28 for those things. Like, this is without any buy and burn, and we're absolutely destroying the supply. There's not going to be any supply left. If buy and burn turns on, it's unfair. So, you know. So yeah, so it's, I'm definitely on the same wavelength as you there. I'm not too stressed. Like when the price chart's low, I go to sleep at night, I open V1, I look at it. All right, cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's still thousands of ETH in there waiting.
Literally.
Yeah.
I think Cryptographics did a really good post on Twitter about just the amount of tokens that buy and burn V1 can buy up. And I think he made a comparison to Pulse Chain with the SAC wallet and how much possibly SAC wallet could buy, etc., etc. It's a really good post, and you can kind of compare the two. So a lot of people on Pulse Chain, if they're, you know, if they are bullish on things like the SAC wallet, then I see no reason to not be bullish on Titan X with the buy and burn V1 and all these things.
Yeah,
what's going on, guys? We've got some new names in the chat.
44.51 in ETH. Let's see. At today's price, they can buy and burn 33 trillion. That's 33
There's like
trillion.
What, 60 something trillion liquid, right? In terms of
65. So exactly half of what's liquid it could buy and burn
there you
right
go.
now.
and then just launch a couple more protocols on base, takes in like 10 trillion Titan X, and you've got nothing left.
Right.
Problem solved, everyone. Problem solved. You can all sleep well at night now.
Yeah. Just
yeah.
It's like, yeah, we get crazy demand and the price goes up, or we get some crazy down draw and the buy and burns the backstop. Like that's a win-win to me. Like this is to me a very safe play to be sitting in Titan X. You know, as long as you believe Ethereum is going to do what it should be doing, which I'm a big Ethereum fan. You know, I hold plenty of Ethereum as well. So,
and what happens, guys, to bot protocols when Titan runs?
Yeah. Yes.
What happens?
They run. They burn.
They run, man. They
Titan
run.
X.
Yeah. They're like, I don't know, it's like watching Usain Bolt. They just go. And the thing is, like, I just don't think people will know, because I put a tweet out the other day just saying, like, positioning is, it was kind of like a general tweet, but I linked it to crypto in the sense that position, think about in jiu-jitsu, if anyone trains jiu-jitsu and they're watching this, you know position comes before submission. If you play chess, you know you need a good position with your pieces before you can get checkmate. You can't just get checkmate. In life, in general, positioning is everything, right? If I play COD and I train my aim for 10 hours a day, sweating COD just with my little remote, and then I'm running out in the open and some window camper just destroys me. He didn't have better aim than me. He just had a better position, right? So positioning is everything in life. And like sometimes, you know, you just got to find where it's raining and your bucket's going to get full of water. You know what it is? So my personal opinion, it's not financial advice, but my personal opinion is right now when things are down is a great time to make your position in this ecosystem by allocate some funds to certain bot protocols, build a little bit of a position. It's not financial advice. It's just personally what I'm doing myself. And this is what I think is going to maximize the most gains, because when Titan runs, these protocols are going to run like crazy. I mean, dude, you might want to pull up the stacks graph right now. I don't know if people are paying attention to that thing, but that thing is just, it's just up and to the right. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah. It I think people were nervous with the inflation of E280. Like there was lots of inflation, and so I don't know. Like I am probably proudest of stacks out of any of these protocols. Like it is just,
it's a beast, man.
It's a beast.
Did you see those started? Did you see those NFTs that have been put on the marketplace? They're already going for like double, triple the price. Someone put some rares on.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Someone put some rares on for like 2 billion Titan X, 3 billion Titan X, and 4 billion. So it's a bit experimental, but I do think those NFTs, there's barely any of them. Like the amount of value they have, in my opinion, is lots.
476 NFTs.
That's nothing, man. That is nothing. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy. All right, we've got 100 people in. I think we'll jump to the actual breakdown. Thank you for everyone who is here. Smash a like. I don't usually ask for this stuff, but I need to get more into the rhythm of this stuff. So smash a like, smash a subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. Helps out the algorithm, helps me out, but also helps you out because more people seeing stuff means more eyeballs, means more money, means more capital, means more gains, right? So let's get into the stream. This is the for those new watching, I do see some new people in. I basically like to make these diagrams and we go through them. So very sorry, keto natural. Let's just get, because keto natural dropped a 777. We got to get a 777 in the chat. Come on, guys. All the OGs know 777. Let's get it in the chat. Come on. There we go. All right. Let's get into it. So this is OMNICHAIN Element 280. So there may be some confusion for some people here with naming, but I think everyone will get their head around it very quickly. Currently, Element 280 is what we have, Element and NFTs, etc., etc. OMNICHAIN E280, the token is going to be called E280, and obviously the token on ETH that we have now is Element. So just want to clear that up quickly, because I know people might get a bit confused when we say E280.
Yeah, and like I'm trying to, like, moving forward, I'm trying to refer to the OG token as Element and this OMNICHAIN token as E280.
Yeah. So it may get confusing for some people, because here I've got like E280 does this and this and this, and then they might think, wait, what? That's the OMNICHAIN one. Element is the one we have now.
I decided to go with that because, like, yeah, it is kind of confusing, but it's also like I want it to be interchangeable. Like E280 is only mintable from Element, so they are one and the same. They are different tokens, but like I look at them the same. You know, E280 is only going to have that supply from Element. So
that's it, man. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Are you guys excited? I'm excited, man.
I am as well.
Yeah. This is so big. Like when dude like kind of gave this this kind of announcement and stuff, like if you're on the Telegram and stuff, I was like, this is just ridiculous. You know, I always wanted this. I was always like, oh, is he gonna do it? And he's actually done it. So let's get into it. So this is an overview basically of E280. Essentially, there's going to be an open mint. I don't know if, dude, you want to quickly walk through these?
Sure. Yeah, open mint. That's as in you can always mint E280. 1 for 1. You bring one element, and you can mint one E280. And that's just always going to be the case. And it's not an issue because Element is a cap supply, which you got that on the right side there.
Yeah.
Element is a cap supply, therefore E280 is a cap supply. And it's because it requires Element. It's pretty straightforward. The NFT is cap supply for Element. And we are using Element NFTs to create E280 NFTs. So those will be cap supply as well. Element is a 4% tax, so we didn't want to change that. It's 4% tax on E280 as well. And we can go through that tax breakdown, obviously. And then what you got? OMNICHAIN token supply. Yeah, so E280 is going to be bridged, you know, well, maybe that's not the right term. It's OMNICHAIN. It is bridged, but it's like in a different style. So it will be going to several chains, but we're just launching on ETH and Base up front.
Yeah. I want to just rub this in, not rub this in, but I want to drill this point home. What this is effectively doing, guys, is the whole supply of Element is capped, right? Now that supply is capped, not just for Ethereum, but it's capped on every single chain. Like if dude launches on Base and then launches on, I don't know, something like Arbitrum or something, like the amount of tokens that can go to these chains is so small. So it's gonna have the supply dynamics are absolutely ridiculous. And this is so interesting for the NFT guys. Dude did give us some hints saying you might not want to burn your NFTs. And this is the why, because this is a capped NFT supply. So we'll get into the details. I don't want to talk too much on the overview.
Yeah, I do want to point out on that you've got OMNICHAIN NFT at the bottom there. They're not OMNICHAIN NFTs. So when you mint a Base NFT, like it's locked on Base. You're not going to be able to move these NFTs around to other chains. So it's just the token that's going to be moved around.
There we go. So yeah, you heard it from himself. Token is OMNICHAIN. The NFT thing though is very interesting. So I think people would like to hear that. So I should have probably included in this LP web, but I think that's a given since it's Element. You know what I mean? But basically, the LP on Ethereum is going to be primarily set up here with Element. So you got Element that's going to be in a V2 pool with E280. And I've got a big question mark here for dude, which is how is the tax going to work on this pair, right? Because obviously you're going to get taxed on Element, which is 4%, and then E280 as well, which is 4%. So how is this going to work? And is this going to be an 8% tax, etc.?
It absolutely is. I think what I'm really with these OMNICHAIN tokens, and this goes for H420 as well. I'm like, we're trying to really boost the volume that goes through these tokens and increase the taxes that are getting paid. So we thought about whitelisting these so that it's, you know, there is no tax running through here and it's smooth, but then it's like, well, why do that? Like the whole point is to reward the NFT holders. That's why you want these NFTs to be rewarded. So we're just going to let it be 8% tax to get through there. And all that means is, like, instead of, you know, the price being 1-to-1, it's going to actually be like 1.08 to make it profitable for you to mint and sell and arbitrage that. Plus you have the 1% LP fee, so it's actually probably going to be closer to 1.09. Just like if you look at X28 to Titan X, it's not actually at 1, it's slightly above 1. And that's to account for the LP, the trading fees. So yeah, so I'm excited to just like push tons of volume through and pay these taxes and reward these NFT holders on both sides, you know, rewarding the Element NFT holders and the E280 NFT holders.
Yeah. And don't forget, guys, that obviously if you're holding Element, there's no need to actually trade it really for E280, right? For the most part, unless there's a crazy ratio. But you can just mint 1-to-1 basically. So you don't need to worry like about buying this pair. Like as long as they're at the right ratios and it's not too crazy, it just makes more sense to mint Element straight to E280 straight, you know?
Yeah, it just depends on the ratio, you know, and we'll have that on our website. You know, like X28 has on the mint page, it'll tell you you're getting a better or a worse value on Uniswap. It'll let you know, hey, you should probably not mint. You should go to Uniswap and just buy. Or, hey, you actually should mint and not buy. It'll let you know what's the better ratio and kind of be straightforward. And I think we'll have that same setup on
that's
ours.
that's a good setup because it kind of allows people to keep that ratio solid, because if it ever dips, then users will just buy up. So it's a good just having a little bit of a good UI thing there is definitely needed. And then there's going to be LP on base, guys, because this is OMNICHAIN. So I think we're launching, Dude's launching on base first. Obviously this is going to expand to other chains, but I just put base here because that's basically what Dude is launching on first here. So it's going to be an LP web. I've only included 4 tokens here because obviously right now there's not really many tokens that we know of on base. So this is going to obviously grow and expand, and this LP web is going to continually be growing as this base expansion, the base expansion pack continues in Titan X. But you're going to basically have an LP web. So if you've watched my stream on Element or on Flare, like these tokens, you understand how this works. And I'm sure you guys who are watching this do understand how this works. But for those who don't, basically E280 is going to be linked to multiple tokens on base, right? So it's going to have an LP with X28. It's going to have an LP with H420, which is OMNICHAIN Helios. It's going to have a LP with S88, with B88, with all these different tokens, right? And what that means is that there's going to be a different price of E280 in each individual pair. Okay, and this allows arbitrage bots to basically fix the price. People are calling them price fixer bots now because that's really what they do, right? They're going to be trading the pairs to fix the prices, which are going to be different across them. And then by doing that, it pays a tax, and the tax is going to benefit the system. So that's kind of how these LP web tokens work. And just for those who are new here, I thought I would explain that one for you.
And it's always expanding. I think we're over 20 LPs, I believe, with Element. And so like with every project that's launching on base, we'll add LPs with them and always be expanding. And then do that again on Arbitrum, on Binance, on whatever the next chain is. Like these LP webs will just constantly be expanding. And now you're getting arbitrage, not just on base, but across chain with base, Ethereum, Arbitrum, all these things. With a cap supply token.
Exactly. Oh my God. That's crazy, man. And one thing with these tokens, guys, that you always want to keep a lookout for is the LP and how thick the LP is. And what you'll notice is often these LP webs do have incredibly thick LP, and it just makes it very interesting because some people, they look at one LP and they'll be like, it's kind of thin. It only has this much an LP. What? It's important to look at all the LPs together, and then you can see actually this is quite thick, which is very good for the supply, and it's actually very bullish for the token itself to have like a nice thick LP, for people to get in, for people to exit. If you have thin LP and you make like a 10,000x, I mean, you can't get any of it out. So you need thick LP. Very important.
Yeah, Element with the liquid supply, Element has got 47% of it in LPs. So massive.
I know, that's insane. Yeah, Element is, my opinion, is too slept on right now, in my opinion. Okay, that's the LP stuff. So this is fairly straightforward, these two bits here. In terms of minting the token, it's going to basically be 1-to-1. Okay, so I did say it already. So it's very similar here to how X28 and Titan X work. You take a Titan X, you're minting it 1-to-1 for X28, and then that Titan X gets split into various ways. We'll see what happens here with Element. The one extra thing here is when you mint, there's going to be an extra 2.8% of the tokens you minted will be minted for the Helios DAO. And perhaps Dude wants to comment on exactly what's going on with the Helios DAO bit here.
Yeah, I mean, I think primarily it's going to be for LPs, but it'll be up to the DAO to decide, obviously, and we go through votes on all that and deliberations, and like I have no concerns that those tokens won't be used for anything but for the health of the protocol. So it just made sense to me to like. I think the HLX DAO is it's strong, and it's still growing and expanding. We're actually looking at adding another DAO member very soon, and keeping that decentralization process going. We're already up to 5 currently DAO members, and yeah, I think HLX is. I want HLX treasuries to be like a central hub for everything, and so they're already an Element benefactor. So another reason for why the HLX DAO is going to want to see only good for Element and E280, because they get a portion of those taxes as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and they've been acting on good behalf of Element already. So for those who aren't aware, they've been adding to thicker LPs. They've been minting Stacks NFTs. They've been doing a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, I think we have good trust in these guys here. This style, we have good trust in them. And then we've got the NFT minting. So yeah, basically this. Okay, so this is a really, really interesting and important topic to mention here, guys. You can't mint NFTs with liquid E280 or liquid Element. You can only, I want everyone to pay close attention here. You can only mint an E280 NFT with an Element NFT. That is the only way. So there is, if you want to get one and you don't have an Element NFT, the only way you can get one right now is go on open market, OpenSea or Titan Legends, and buy one there, and then you can mint one with that. That is it. There's no other way here. And this feature, man, is just crazy bullish for NFT holders. Think about what this means, guys, for your shares in the pool as well. There's so many factors here that it's just so sick to have them. So you're gonna have your Element NFT. That could be a rare, that could be a amped rare, common, legendary. You're gonna basically go and mint directly this E280 NFT, and you're gonna basically mint 1-to-1. So let's say you had the common, you're gonna mint a common on base for E280, right? That NFT gets burned. So what does that mean for everyone in the Element NFT shares? It's gonna go up, right? Everyone's shares gonna go up. And now I'm gonna be very happy the shares are going up. Sometimes you're like happy they're going up, but you're also like, oh man, that person dumped on us. But Now they can't dump on you, and they're moving to a chain, and they're gonna have, let's say there's no one's minted on an NFT on base yet. The first person who does that is gonna have 100% shares. So now think about it. To start with Element, right? Everyone was competing for just those Ethereum shares, right? Now you're competing with NFTs you already have for shares on base and shares on Arbitrum or shares on wherever we go. So in essence, guys, the total NFT shares possible on base is already capped. It's capped to what we have on Ethereum. So this is a global cap. Anyway, I'm going on a mad one right now, guys, because this one's exciting for me. But yeah, so the NFT gets burned and that element gets distributed up. We'll go into that in a second here. But that is, you don't have to worry about that getting dumped on you. It's going to be amazing for the amount of burn on Element. It's going to be amazing for the amount of burn on the NFTs, your shares, and everything. Man, this to me is just the icing on top, man. It's like,
It really is amazing. Like I'm so excited to see that, and yeah, like somebody's gonna do that, right? Like 100% of the shares, yes, please. And then, I mean, even 10 people going over there and splitting it, now you got 10% of the shares. Like that, it's going to happen, no doubt. Somebody is gonna do that. They're gonna burn their Element NFTs. Everybody else, it's like, I don't know about that. I don't want to do with it. Cool. Like your share rate just goes up, and like you said, like these NFTs are getting burned, but the tokens are still locked up because they're going to migrate those tokens from Element to E280 and then use that E280 to back the new NFT. So those tokens never really unlock. They just migrate to base and stay locked there. So I really do. Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. I can't wait to launch this.
Yeah, man. This is so exciting, guys. People need to be like, people need to spamming the chat right now. Yeah, this is sick. This is so sick. I'm gonna have thoughts about this pop up in my mind as we go through the stream. So I'm gonna bring this up another 5 times, guys. I'm just warning you, okay?
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Rightfully
like
so.
It is a massive point. Massive.
It's such a big point. Like I can't really stress this enough, guys. And look, what this does is, I mean, you know how like the auction systems we have, right? They force people to participate because it's money to be made. You know, you are forced to participate to close out that ROI. This is effectively doing the same thing, right? Because think about it, there's going to be a bunch of money on base for NFT rewards for people to claim. How are you going to get that? Well, you have to burn an NFT to get it, and if no one else is doing it, you get all the reward. So people are going to do it, which means your shares in on Ethereum will go up, and you're going to have a monster share on base. If no one else does it, and you're like the only guy who does it, then you're going to have insane shares. So yeah, this is a way of just pulling. It's like a black hole event on NFTs, man. Crazy. Shout out to P90 for the 777 in the chat. Let's go. And shout out to Rich Landon as well. I think who else we saw here? We saw Weapon Head. So shout out to all these guys. These are OGs. So I appreciate having you guys around.
Cool. Yeah, it's a bunch of OGs.
Yeah, man. Everyone's excited. Let's get into the element distribution model here. Do you want to explain this? Do you want to explain this one?
Sure. Yeah. So when you mint 1 for 1, you throw 100 element in, you're getting your 100 E280 out. This is what we're doing with that 100 element tokens. And then you've got on the left side here, the HLX DAO, they're getting a portion. Also keep in mind, like I haven't finalized these percentages. I do quite like where they're at right now, but they could get tweaked just a little bit more before we launch. You know, I'm always like thinking about it and like where the best way they can go. But as far as the logic goes, this is solid. So I'm not going to go too deep on the percentages, but yeah. So we've got on the left side, we've got an allocation for the HLX DAO, which we've already kind of covered as far as like they are a benevolent whale. They are good for the ecosystem. They are a benefactor of Element, so they are forced to make sure that they are supporting the ecosystem so that they can keep their flow and their treasuries, constant. So again, likely liquidity support is an easy option. Is now they're getting Element and E280, so that could be a very easy add to the liquidity and support that. There are tons of options. And then of course we've got Genesis, and then burning of Element. That's pretty self-explanatory. So every time, and it's currently at 28%. So 100 Element gets minted into 100 E280. 28 of those are just going to get burned, and this is a cap supply. And we're burning Element tokens. So even if you don't want to participate in minting E280 or going to base, or you don't care about any of that, this is still heavily supporting you because this is adding additional burn pressure on the Element token. Straightforward, right there.
Yeah, this is a sick way of adding more burn pressure. Like, we've got so many burn pressures now in Element, right? You've got the tax, you've got buy and burn V2. You got all these different elements coming in here, and this is another element. This is another element. This is very similar to the X28 thing, where it burns 50% of the Titan X, and yeah, this is just another burner on Element. And I know it's not 50%, but we are doing quite a lot with the Element tokens here, and I keep saying we, but I mean dude. Dude is doing quite a lot here with the with the Element tokens. That's how much I love Element, guys. I just say we, but it's not my project. But yeah, so there's a lot going into this, and this is an LP web, so it kind of requires extra things, and extra allocations of stuff here with the NFTs and the LP web and stuff. But even at that 28%, I don't know if this number is going to change. Maybe it will, but it's just the amount of burning that this could do is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all the numbers look great. With we got 28 across several areas, 2.8, 4.2. I love the numbers. So likely they will stay. But I wanted to give that asterisk that they are subject to change until launch. And obviously, when we actually go to launch, I can confirm what they will be in the white paper and all that good stuff. So
yeah, guys, that's one point. This is pre-white paper release, so you're getting all the alpha right here.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, then we've got, so I guess this kind of mirrors the burn on Element here. You got a 28% burn on E280 itself. And what I've done here is I've kind of like explained how each one of these here work. It's not hard to explain it, but I just thought for the details. E280 buy and burn is going to get a bunch of Element tokens here, 28%. It's going to buy up E280, and then it's going to burn it. Right, you can see here, it's going to burn it.
Burn that and pay tax. Pay tax
and pay
on all these.
There you go. So not only is it burning, it's paying tax, which is feeding the whole ecosystem. And then we've got LP manager. This is a very important concept, guys. We're going to drill this point home as well. Some of you may not understand any of this stuff yet, so me and Dude are going to spend some time going through this, but there's going to be an LP manager. You might be confused why we're sending tokens there, but we'll explain. 28% of the tokens goes to the LP manager. I'm going to buy up E280 and bridge that to base and stuff like that for the LP manager there. And then we've got NFT holders, 9% so far. I know these can all change. It's going to, again, buy up E280. And this, I'm really excited to. It's going to bridge to other chains for now. That's base. And it's going to send those tokens there as a reward for the people, yeah? Yeah, so I think we spoke about this very briefly off stream. I'm aware that this is going to be launched in phases. And I think this is important to mention because with this NFT holders bit here, this is going to be a big player because essentially it's going to launch phase 1, which is just launching the coin, setting up the LP, etc., etc. And I don't know if it's phase 2 or phase 3, but eventually it will launch the NFT contract on base. And what this means is there's going to be a period of time. Oh, I've added something. There's going to be a period of time. We don't know how long. Could be a week, could be 2 weeks, could be 3 weeks, could be a month. Who knows? There's going to be a period of time where this NFT rewards has been building up. People are minting their E280, etc., etc., and the rewards that are going to be accumulating here is going to grow. So when the actual contract launches here, it's not like you're going to launch it into an empty pool of no rewards. There will be rewards there. And this kind of creates this scenario where people will be forced to burn, not literally forced, but they will be forced essentially. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Me and Dude, we're not going to knock on your door and, hold you hostage until you buy the NFT. We're not doing that. Don't worry. But you're going to be essentially compelled without any free will, I'm joking, with free will, to burn your NFTs here and claim those rewards there. So I think that's a really good mechanic that is going to be in there, and that's just naturally in the launch phase. Was there anything else, Dude, you wanted to mention here?
Yeah, I think the LP manager, we might be able to launch that at the same time on phase one. It's not confirmed. But the NFT migration contract, that's absolutely going to be a secondary phase or a third phase. So LP manager is phase 2, NFTs migration is phase 3. And then phase 4 is going to be do this all over again on another chain. Whether or not we use the exact same mechanics, not sure about. We can kind of just see how this runs on base and decide, you know what, we love it, ship it, fork it, do it again. Or go, you know what, maybe we like something a little bit different. Let's tweak it and have slightly different mechanics on a different chain. Keep in mind the exact same token. Like there is only one token that's going to be moving around, only one supply, 0 dilution. Obviously, we can never mint Element tokens or Element NFTs. So don't worry if you're an existing holder. It's impossible. There is no way. It's not like I'm going to decide one day, you know what, let's mint some more NFTs. That is impossible. The code is immutable on blockchain. So once we launch this token, same thing. That's going to be immutable. The only way to mint it is by burning your element on the Ethereum chain. And all the tokens in existence going around all these chains, that is a cap supply. It's one singular supply moving around. What we can change is how NFTs are minted on each chain. So that can get tweaked. But again, the Element NFTs are locked in. Like that is it. And so it's only good. It's only good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, the LP manager is, I think, a very solid addition. Like this is following the same X28 model with the LP manager added in there. That's kind of why we didn't go with the 50-50 split. It's more like split into thirds. And the LP manager is very important because the life of the ecosystem is through the LP web. And so the LP manager is going to be there to increase that LP web and constantly expand it. Currently with E280, the LP manager, it's not incentivized at all. Like it's only there if a user wants to provide liquidity and earn LP fees, you can do that tax-free. Moving forward with E280, the LP manager is going to be incentivized. So you're not only earning LP fees, but you're also earning additional rewards, which we'll go into. I think you have an extra section for that, I believe.
We do have a section, yeah. We're going to go through this because I know people don't know this, and I think this is something Dude kind of launched in another project that he did called Janus. And the concept worked very well, and he's adding it basically into this. So for those who understand how it works on Janus, then you'll understand this, but we're going to go through it as well. So yeah, I guess we can go through that now.
So Rich is saying, is it burning of both Element or NFTs to mint E280? So to mint E280, it's just the token. You know, we're taking in the Element token to mint the E280 token. and that is burning the Element token and has fueling the buy and burn for the E280 token. The NFT side of things, you're burning an Element NFT to mint that equivalent E280 NFT on base. And when that NFT gets burned, the Element tokens get unlocked from the backing. They get minted into E280 through this model and then get shipped over to base. And then your new NFT gets backed by those tokens. So again, there's no dilution of supply or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly that. No dilution. And I'm going to be very happy when I see people burning NFTs now for base.
Right, because currently it's like 95% of the time you see an NFT burned, and then what happens immediately after? They dump those tokens on the market.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much like every time I see a dump on the market on Element, I know E280. I know that NFT's been burned. So I just literally go over to my user vault and check my shares because I know they're going up. But now my shares go up and we don't get as much dumping, which is really sick. And this really adds so much scarcity, guys, to the NFT game now. It just adds another whole layer of scarcity, and we all know demand and scarcity drive value, right? So there's going to be demand there, and then there's going to be increased scarcity now for the NFT market. So, you know, if you're watching this, you might not want to burn those NFTs, guys. Not just yet. You know, wait until base comes out. Not financial advice, but wait until this stuff launches and see what goes on over there. I think we're going to get into the tax. Tax structure is very similar to Element in the sense that it's 4% in the total, but there's this LP manager bit has been added here. And the tax doesn't send anything to Helios DAO. So that's basically the main two differences. And then, yeah, the percentages, I don't know if these will change, but these are the percentages we have at the current time. And as you can see here, Genesis scale portion burn, it's going to burn 0.88% of the E280 token. And LP manager is going to get fed. So we'll go into this. And the NFT holders will get fed as well. So can you imagine, guys, like NFT holders are getting fed from the distribution, but they're also getting fed from the volume. And then we're going to get volume from the distribution, right? Look at all this volume. It's going to buy here. It's going to buy here. It's going to buy here. So it's feeding volume by burning or by minting the E280 token. And then also that's going to fill up the NFT thing. And then that volume itself is going to further fill up the NFT thing. So just keep that in mind, guys. Any thoughts?
You might want to put like E280 NFT holders specifically on that bottom right, just so they know, like, because this is E280 tax, and that's going to the E280 NFT holders. But other than that, yeah, like it's, you know, like I said, I try to keep the structure very similar, but adding the very important LP manager. And yeah, and I'm excited to go over why the LP manager, why we're going that route and why it's amazing.
So yeah, we can go to that now. So what is one thing? Okay, there's a few bits here, right? So dude mentioned that the LP manager on Element, it's not really incentivized for the users. And I don't think that's much of a problem for Element right now. I think that the LP is very nice and thick. But we do want to see people also adding LP. It just helps the whole ecosystem, right? And what you'll notice on some other of these kind of like tax like tokens, like UFO, for example, is they do incentivize their users to add LP because they send a portion of tax to people who do add LP, and that's one way of incentivizing. And where this is another approach to further incentivizing people to add their LP in here. Another thing with these tokens, like I'm not gonna look, this is not me talking down on these tokens, by the way, but this is just a little problem that could arise. Is they have LP wallets. So whenever there's a tax, like on a transaction, on a trade, on a transfer, etc., there's going to be a tax to an LP wallet for a lot of these other tokens, and that's great because those protocols then get a bunch of tokens. They can add it to LPs and get really thick LP. And we're seeing that work, and it's working amazingly. But there is kind of an issue that does arise with that. What's the issue? I'll show you guys right here. So this is the LP wallet scenario. Okay, so if there's an LP wallet which gets tokens from attacks, you basically have trading volume, which generates tax, which feeds the LP wallet. But obviously, for them to add the LP, they have to sell some of those tokens. So they have to sell the token here and then add that in LP because they need 50-50, right? And basically, this just means that there's a level of sell pressure intrinsic to the token from the LP wallet. And perhaps there's a way to further innovate this and make it so we don't need to hard program in sell pressure, right? And I think the solution we have here is or the solution Dude's come up with, again, I'm saying we, is the LP manager. So this is Dude's solution. It's not my solution. Just I keep saying we. Forget
I like in the chat they were talking about we are all one. We're all one team. One of us.
It. Yeah, that's the mindset. That is the mindset.
Yes.
I do see there's some questions. I think we'll get to them. Yeah, we'll get to the questions, guys, at the end.
Sure.
So yeah, thank you for the questions though. Weaponhead, I can see is asking. So, yeah, so we're gonna solve this issue basically. That's what Dude is aiming to do here with the LP manager. We don't want to create more sell pressure on Element, and that's just obvious, right? We don't want more sell pressure. And what is the solution? The solution is this LP manager. So I'll give my explanation, and I think Dude will probably correct it. But this is essentially how I've understood things, right? So there's going to be trading volume, and that trading volume generates tax, which goes to this LP manager. Okay, we've just seen that in the tax breakdown. But also for minting as well. So I've included this as well. When people mint, there's in the distribution of the element, it's going to buy up E280 and send it again to this LP manager. Now, for those who know Yanis, they know exactly how this works. When a user comes along, which I didn't give him a name. That is actually atrocious. That is just Jonathan comes along and he wants to add LP to this to a pair. Now let's say he wants to add X28 with E280, right? Let's just add that here so people know. He wants to add X28 to E280, right? He wants to add this pair, make it thicker, etc., etc. All Jonathan needs is X28. He doesn't need E280. He just brings his X28 to add LP. So he takes his X28 here, he adds LP. And this LP manager has tokens. It has E280. And essentially, he supplies his side of the LP, and the LP manager will automatically give their side 50%, 50%. And that means that there's now going to be a lot more LP here. No E280 is sold down in this process. And it's just an awesome way of doing the LP. Jonathan can use his X28 and feed the whole thing. And there's more to it with, yeah, I'll let Dude explain because basically the longer they hold it, so John's only going to have 50% share, but the longer he holds, he's going to be incentivized to hold his LP. Dude, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean that is the biggest point to drive home is there is zero sell pressure on this. This is we're having users come in and match the other half of that. So if there's no E280 in the contract because some whale came in and created some massive LP and used all the tokens in the LP manager, then it'll just be on hold. But as the tax and minting comes in, tokens will slowly accumulate and anybody can come in and match the other half of that token. And we'll have it the same way as the LP manager for Element. We will whitelist specific tokens. So like at the beginning, we'll whitelist, X28, H420, B88, all the tokens that we want to expand our liquidity web. So as a new project comes out, we just whitelist that token and bam, now people can bring that token and add to their preferred LP. Yeah, and so you're bringing in, you bring in $100 worth of tokens, the LP manager matches it with $100 of tokens. You now have a $200 LP. and you have 50% ownership. So 50% of that $200 is $100. So you're net zero right there. You own half of that LP. And then there's no lockup period. You can withdraw these tokens at any point. You decide, you know what, I'm good, I'll pull out. You can do that. And it will give you half of that LP, and the other half is going to get burned. So it'll stay in liquidity. At least some percentage of it will always get burned when somebody uses this protocol. So it is permanently adding liquidity to the ecosystem. But say you want to hold, and you can earn additionally by every month that you're holding, you're not withdrawing your LP tokens, you're earning an additional 1% of that LP. So you come in day one, you own 50% of it. You hold for 1 month, now you have 51% of it, and the LP manager owns 49%. You hold for another month, now you got 52%, and the LP manager's got 48. And so the longer you hold, the larger of the share of this LP you own. Now keep in mind, like, this LP is always earning LP fees. So you're earning fees in addition to earning a larger portion of the share of the LP. And
yeah. So basically that is going to incentivize you to basically hold your LP, right? So not only are you earning the fees, but you're also basically earning the element, or the E280 that has been added to that LP. So over a period of time, I don't know exactly how long, but over a period of time, you're going to get 1%, and then next period 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, and eventually you're just earning the E280 just by adding the LP, just for free. Basically, you added the LP, and you're earning the E280 that's in that LP position, and all you had to do was bring your X28 and you add it. It's as simple as that.
Yep. And then, like I said, once you withdraw, you get your LP tokens, whatever your percent of the share is, and that's going to include the trading fees that have accumulated over that time period. You'll get your percent share of that. So you held for 2 months. 2 months. Now you get 52% of it. That's sent to you. The other 48% just gets burned. And so now there's permanent liquidity added to the ecosystem. The user earned their portion of the fees. So this is a good way to kind of hedge your bets, because there is risk of impermanent loss in providing LPs. That's pretty much the scary part of, if you don't know what you're doing, you could possibly lose value in that. The key word is that it is impermanent. So like, you just hold longer and maybe the ratios change and it gets back to a positive thing. I should probably go into depth on this with the Titans of LP, because those guys really can explain, and they're experts in providing liquidity. But anyways, so there are caveats, but this kind of helps you hedge your bet, because whether there's impermanent loss or not, you're still definitely earning that 1% additional share of the LP every month. So even if the trading fees aren't that great or the ratio goes off, you're still earning more of it just by holding it. And then if you hold through impermanent loss and it comes back or whatever, like, you have a much better chance of coming out ahead through the system, as opposed to just providing liquidity straight through Uniswap. So
sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And look, guys, this has been working for Yanis, which is Dude's other protocol, which is on Pulse Chain. So this is not just completely in the dark here. Like, this kind of concept has been working quite well for Yanis. So this is Yanis was kind of a good testing ground, and now this LP manager is getting added into Element E280 here, and I'm so excited about this. I think this is sick. There's a good way to incentivize people to add the LPs, and like you said, hedge their bets, and no sell pressure. That's what I like. No sell pressure. So yeah, really cool. And Who knows? I mean, this is a shot in the dark for myself, but you never know if the Helios guys, Helios DAO guys decide, they say there's a bunch of tokens in here, no one's actually doing it. Maybe Helios DAO add this stuff, you know? Who knows? That's a shot in the dark for myself, but there's a lot of possibilities that can happen here. So I definitely like this. I like that it kind of fixes this issue that you get with just having a normal LP wallet. Again, I'm not throwing any shots to protocols that have that, but there is this particular issue of the cell to add the LP here. So if you're bullish on these other protocols that have this stuff, and we're watching how amazing they're doing, then in my opinion, this is super bullish because we just fixed a little bit of it. We incentivize people to add the LP. This stuff is really sick.
Yep. I hate selling tokens. So that this is amazing to me to have it this type of setup. And yeah, Giannis has been live for several months. I've watched how that works, and I'm very happy with the results. Yeah, and if you're on Pulse Chain and you're not sure, like you can play around with Giannis. That's live right now. There's like $400,000 or so in Giannis tokens available to be rewarded for LP providers. So yeah, you can go check that out right now.
Cool. I think that actually wraps up most of this. Actually, I think that wraps up pretty much all of this. What I wanted to do was I wanted to look on the Element website and kind of drill this point home about just some of the stuff we've spoken about. So just give me a moment. I'm going to pull that up for you guys. 1 second.
Weaponhead, will E280 go to Pulse Chain in the future? I haven't done it because there's no tax. Like there's, if you use the Pulse Chain bridge, it just converts it to a regular ERC20, or I think they're PRC20s on Pulse Chain. And so there would be no tax on it. Like, so yeah, you can have arbitrage going on, but there's no tax being paid, and it's not going towards burning the token or anything like that. That's kind of why I haven't messed with it. But yeah, there's still possibilities of doing something. We'll have to see. No, I'm letting Jake. Jake's got he's got stuff going on. I'm leaving him alone. He needs to launch X28 on base. That is his priority. Don't bug him. Let him do his thing. But yeah. I mean, he'll jump on streams at some point, no doubt. So yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah, we'll get him up sometime. When he's free. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is the one. Okay, we can see this. Let me just make that bigger. I think that's as big as I can get it. All right.
Nice.
So what I want to show you guys is a couple things. Okay. Is that a bit? There we go. I think that might be better. Is that too unclear?
No, that's good.
That better. That's cool.
That's good.
Okay, so I want to drill this point home. I don't want to just be beating a dead horse, but this is important to drill home here, guys. Look at the total NFT supply right now for Element 280. Okay, this is what it is. Total supply 8,539 NFTs, and the total multiplier or shares is this much. Okay, now this may be subject to change. People might still burn. How you doing, Callum? It's good to see you. Yeah, man, thanks for popping by. Obviously, Callum is how's a special place in my heart. It was my first stream, so thanks for that. And I would love to do more with Callum. Cool. So yeah, so you got this is the total amount of multipliers, but now the NFTs are going effectively onto different chains. This is, for the most part, it's capped not just for Ethereum, but it's capped for Base. It's capped for the whole OMNICHAIN ecosystem here, and this can never go up. The only way this is basically going to decrease quite rapidly When people do mint onto base their NFTs, then they're gonna take shares from this multiplier, and they're gonna take those shares onto the base fork, right? The base chain, and those shares, think of it like it's getting transferred, right? So everyone who holds on Ethereum, even if they don't want to participate, their NFT shares are going to go up, and then whoever takes their shares over to base, they're just going to have huge shares on base, right? Let's say there's only a couple NFTs minted there. You notice there's some good rewards to get. You can mint your NFT on it, and you take your shares over to the base chain, and now you have huge shares there. Your percent of the NFT rewards there could be like 80%, and you just minted like one rare. And then your shares, if you have NFTs still on Element, would be going up as well, right? So it's really interesting mechanics here. And if you have like, let's say you have 1% share right now of the NFTs, in a sense, you can have 1% share across the whole Omni-chain, right? Like all the chains. Like think about if it got divided equally between each one, then you can still maintain 1% on Ethereum, but you also get 1% on Base, you can get 1% on Arbitrum, 1% everywhere. So for all those guys who've been building up those shares, they've seen those NFTs on the market, they've been buying, etc., etc. This is so bullish for you because you now have huge shares, and there's going to be a lot of competition, in my opinion, to buy those NFTs now.
Yeah,
so yeah,
and there's no going back. Like once you burn your Element NFT to mint one on base, and you take however many shares over there, like you're locked in on base. The only thing you can do with that NFT at that point is burn your NFT to unlock the E280 tokens that are backing it. There's no coming back to Ethereum and adding back to those multipliers. So that number you're seeing still can only ever go down, and your shares can only ever go up as people do this. And it's a one-way street every time.
So absolutely. So everyone who minted a good few amount of commons and rares, instead of just going all in on the legendaries, they're probably gonna be quite happy right now, because you can just kind of slowly mint there and see how that plays out. But yeah, this is going to be really interesting what happens here, and I'm sure there's going to be a good stats page added which shows everything, where everything's going. And then the other thing, guys, is the actual liquid supply. Look how small it is, 7%. 1.3 trillion Element. Maybe you can add the LP in there, so 1.2 trillion. Add this all up, maybe it's around, I don't know, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 trillion tokens. That is basically at this current time, at this particular time, that's the total amount of E280 that can possibly exist ever. So just think about how small that is, and if we take off the burn, you can actually see what's going on right now. You know, the more liquid gets minted into E280, the more the NFT backing increases. The more these percents all go up, right? This percent's going to shrink. These percents are all going to increase. And then people start to mint their NFTs on base and these things, and those tokens are never going to get burned. So I'm so bullish. Look at this, 66% of the entire supply is locked up in NFTs, and that's gonna, you don't need to worry about that necessarily getting dumped on you now, because people can mint in other places. So yeah.
And that's the only way. Like you said, like with the auctions, it's forcing people to be like, there's money to be made. Somebody's gonna want to take that. So when they see there's a distribution on base, and you could send a comment over there to get a 1% whale status, like somebody is probably gonna do that. I mean, what is your speculation on out the gate? Day one, how many people are going to ship NFTs over to base? Like, how many do you think would see burned?
Well, obviously it depends on how much rewards there are in the first place, but
yeah,
I think it's definitely going to be as the ecosystem itself gets more bullish. I think Element, I've said this multiple times on tweets, I think Element is going to get more bullish as a token to hold. And then obviously as Element gets more bullish, there's more rewards for the Ethereum NFT guys. But then as we're expanding over to base, people are going to want to mint because they're going to be like, I want this element thing on base, right? This element thing is doing so sick. I want that thing on base. People are going to have to get into E280, and the more people do, like the moment the floodgates open and a lot of people mint over, yeah, this is going to be ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if I have a prediction how much NFTs will be burned, but I'm just curious to watch it and see what happens. I know if you look at Titan X to X28, they've taken in like what trillions of supply of Titan X, right? And as a percentage, I don't know exactly. It's probably like around 20% of the liquid supply. Is it? They've taken in a lot of Titan X.
Yeah, I think it's a shitload is the proper term.
It's a shitload. And guys, look, all the people who want to get into this, if they don't hold any element, they have to buy element to mint. So if you want E280, you have to buy element to mint the E280. So element holders are happy, liquid. And then this NFTs, I'm going to be really curious to see what happens to the open market on OpenSea and Titan Legends with these NFTs, and how, because I think this completely changes the game. I think it completely changes the NFT game now. The game we had before is completely changed now. Okay. Just because of the scarcity and demand factor. And I'm really interested to see how it's going to impact the prices of the NFTs on the open market. We're seeing with stacks, because of this insane scarcity and potential demand with the future of stacks, we're seeing the NFTs go for double, triple, quadruple their minting price right now. And I'm just curious to see what happens there. Like, let's say you launch onto Base, then you launch onto Arbitrum, then you launch onto all these other chains, right? Let's say you launch to 3 chains. Is that going to triple the value here, right? Like, how are people going to speculate on this? I'm very interested to see. So I'm always an observer. I have an observer mindset. I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch what happens.
Yeah, I'm thinking
I'm
like,
play my moves.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a simple math ROI thing. Like if you're looking at your shares on Element and you're seeing the rewards come in and you're doing the math, okay, I'm getting X% ROI. And then do the math, okay, if I burn my NFT and ship it to base, what percent of that would I have? What is the rewards over there? What's the ROI I'm getting? Like if it's more, then again, like you're saying, why wouldn't you do that? Somebody is going to say, you know what, I'm getting 10% over here and it's 20% over there. I'm doubling my rewards. It's a no-brainer. I'm going to do that. And then as they do that, the rewards for the existing holders go up. The ROI for everybody else on base goes down. And then, you know, at some point it goes from 10 to 20 and then it equalizes at 15%, you know? I think that's kind of the way I see it going. But nobody controls the open market. I for sure do not control the open market.
I mean,
it does what it does.
It does what it does, but you never know. Me and dude might show up at your house, and no, I'm joking. But yeah, the open market is it's always unpredictable. You know what people choose to do. But yeah, I'm so interested in this, and like if you don't have many NFTs now, there's going to be people I know for sure that want a good share across each chain. And if they don't have those NFTs now, they're gonna have to buy them, and it just increases demand for all these NFTs. So, like I said, the game's changed. Think of it like, let's say it launches on 5 chains. Think of it as like dividing these shares by a fifth, right? Like that's now the scarcity, right? That's now where we're at, right? Like, and yeah, I know right now it's just base, but we all know what's coming. We all know it's going to go on all the different chains. So this is one of those ones where it's in the future. It's going to be, in my terminology, a mad one. It's going to be a mad one in the future.
I mean, it's following X28, you know, and you go to the X28 website and there's already like 12 chains listed on there, you know.
Let's pull it up.
Like, there's no doubt Element 280 is going to follow X28 everywhere. Like this is the Titan X /X28 LP web. and it's always going to be bonded to every project in the ecosystem, no matter what chain it's on. Cap supply.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So look at this, guys. These are all the chains we have right now on let's increase it on X28, right? So obviously right now it's just base, but that's a lot of chains. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So you're gonna have 11 chains, right? That all these NFTs.
I mean, those aren't confirmed, I guess. It's just that I'm assuming that's what Jake's looking at. And OmniChain supports a ton more than just that. So it's not like the end of the road there. It's just what we're eyeballing in the near future. And as these chains roll out, it's going to be easier. It's not like we're going to have to wait 6 months for another one or a year for the next one. Like, I think as the snowball picks up, like we could be launching on multiple chains pretty quick.
And guys, like, I'm bullish on Element as just Element. I'm bullish on my NFTs on Element as just Element, right? I think the Element protocol itself is a sick protocol. I think NFT game is sick. This is like 2xing, 3xing, 4xing my excitement. Basically, per chain we launch on is like adding another X to my excitement here, because it just makes Elements so much more scarce and makes NFT games so much more scarce. So I'm so excited to see this.
Yeah. It's a huge milestone to me. Like, I'm really, really excited. And I saw somebody mention when Baby Sun Dragons. Let me see, what was the question here? Oh, how do we get Baby Sun Dragons? That's going to be X28 or ETH. Pretty much anything I do is going to be X28 or ETH options. You know, we always want to be open to anybody outside of the ecosystem, you know, like easy onboarding. But Baby Sun Dragons will be with X28 for sure. But absolutely we'll be interacting with HLX and Baby Dragon X. No doubt. So and we're looking at incorporating E280 in there. I feel like E280 is an easy add. You don't even have to burn the token. Just incorporating it, adding liquidity, just creating tax volume is all you have to do. Like with stacks, like we're not burning it, but our buy and burn is running through E280. It is generating volume. It's generating taxes being paid. You know, it is supporting the ecosystem without having to lose any economic energy towards from, you know, we don't have to take any economic energy from stacks to support E280. We're just utilizing it in the protocol. And so I think that's amazing. And yeah, pretty much it's really easy to incorporate that in future protocols and not have to have an allocation that's specifically burning it. Yeah, that's great. And that's even better. But just utilizing the token in any way, or routing your buy and burn, routing through the pairs, just creating volume and paying taxes, that's massive. And that's what we, you know, why we're not whitelisting anything with these OMNICHAIN. You know, when you mint E280, like it's going to generate a ton of tax from the buy and burn, the LP manager, the NFT, you know, shipping to the NFT holders. I think it was like 65% or something of the volume is just generating volume, generating taxes, which is burning the token and paying NFT holders. With this cap supply, oof.
Ugh, oh my god, too much, man. It's too much for my brain. I'm gonna have to up my nicotine content, man. What's happening? What's happening to me? All right, so I think we should get to some of the questions. I'll bring this up as well so people can look at it, because people might be joining now. So yeah, just so people can see this stuff that's going on. Cool. So we get some of the questions. I think we might have gone through some of them.
Yeah, I think we answered all of them.
We might have answered all of them actually.
Keto says he's shipping a legendary to base. So there you go, folks. That's legendary. Is that 1,000 multipliers?
That's there you go. Minus 1,000 now from that number we just showed you.
Yeah. Or is it 10,000? No, it's 1,000. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I can see those shares getting destroyed.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And no tokens hitting the market. That is like the key to what I was building and designing, that I wanted to make sure it was like the NFT supply gets slaughtered and the token supply does not inflate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really feel like I've successfully done both of those things. We're increasing the LP web. We're, making these NFTs more rare. The Element token itself is going to just have so much burning from minting, from the taxes, just from the volume that other protocols are using. Which again, shout out to Bonfire. They've got an 8% allocation to burning Element.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in the Element 280 ecosystem, you might want to look into supporting them. Go check out what they've got going on. Using the protocol just like you would as a normal user, knowing that you're also supporting your Element bags.
Exactly. I actually want to just mention a quick point here. A quick FUD point. There's someone in the comments. I'm not going to put their comment up, but what people don't understand is about these tax tokens, right? And these kind of index tokens they're index tokens of Titanx ecosystem. Okay, so and I want to say this now. I'm not throwing shade on any other protocol. I just want people to understand more about how these things work. Okay, if you look at, for example, something like PGGC, when PGGC is a great protocol, absolutely amazing. I mean, they innovated this space, right? They made this space kind of what it is. They're like the fathers of this space, right? Absolutely amazing protocol. Shout out to them. They're sick guys. However, what was the token doing when Pulse was down? Like when Pulse was down for months and months and months, the token was down for months and months and months. Okay, so the price of these index tokens is obviously going to reflect the price currently of the market they're in. Okay,
what they're bonded to. Yeah,
exactly right. But we know that the bullish thing is they're linked to all these protocols that when they do fly, they all fly, and it's linked to them. So as soon as Pulse started going on a crazy run and PulseX went on a run, all these protocols went up. Protocols like UFO, PTGC, that they went on an absolutely ridiculous run, like absolutely ridiculous, right? And like I'm one of those people that I see things, like I'll see a pattern. I play a lot of chess. I like to see patterns and see things. You always build a position before anything. People don't want to buy PTC when it's down 80%, right? And then it's bearish, and oh no, Richard Case, and these things are going on. No one wants to buy it then. They want to buy it when it's done a 5, 6, 7x. My philosophy is I want to buy it when if I see an obvious pattern, right? That's to me, it's like screaming at my face. Like the patterns are obvious, right? Like these index tokens fly when the ecosystem they're bonded to flies. So if you're bullish on the ecosystem and you're bullish on Titan X, then by simple mathematical equations, you have to be bullish on Element. It's just the way it's been set up. It's the way it works. So I know people might be bearish about the price right now. They're like, the price is bearish, this, that. Yeah, of course the price is bearish now because Titan X has been bearish for the past few months. When things turn around and things go up, which I know they will. I don't know. It can do zero tomorrow, guys. Not financial advice. When things do turn around, I'm sure Element is going to turn around. That's just the way these things work. That's the way they're set up. I really want to drill that point home because, like, a lot of people love PGC and I love it as well. It's an amazing protocol. I'm just looking at Titan X and seeing the exact same pattern we saw on Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain was down, it was bearish. Oh no, PGC was down, and I'm thinking, okay, how do we have a similar scenario right now? Oh, we do, right? We have a very similar scenario right now. So yeah, if you want to make it in life, guys, like I said at the start, you have to find these patterns, and this is my personal philosophy. It's not financial advice at all. You absolutely do what you want to do with your own money, but position always comes before submission, guys. If you want to catch the rain, you need to find the clouds where the rain's going to form, and if you want to get there first, you have to see when the clouds are forming to get there first with the little bucket and catch the water. That's just the way I see things. If it's already raining and then it's raining, let's go over there with our bucket, and you get there, you catch the last 10 minutes and then it's over.
That's life, everybody man. Else is already there with their buckets full.
Exactly,
right?
Man. You want to get there with your bucket before the rain comes. So that's just the way I look at things.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, just, you know, so many milestones, so many things. It's you see it time and time again where people are like, yeah, the price sucks, you know, like you're talking about Titan X, and it's like, think about all, like, there's so much more than just the chart, you know, and the price is a lagging indicator. As like, I was just reading a post by Jake recently talking about that. Like, you got to look at the leading indicators and the fundamentals that are there that you don't see in the chart that are massive milestones. Yeah, and I'm very excited for base. Like, this is, we're hitting a whole new market. We're going to get all new protocols being built over there. They're going to be utilizing X28. That X28's got to come from somewhere. It's got to come from somewhere. It's going to be from burning Titan X. So,
yep, exactly. Yeah, man, and like you said, right? Like, it's the leading indicators. That's what we're looking at here, and we're really building the the founders and the builders here are really building the kind of the fundamentals, the foundations. Yeah. And if you have the vision, you can see where this stuff is going to go. Someone's talking about the E280 NFT yield, or the Element NFT yield right now. Look, that's just because of the trading volume, right? When the trading volume picks up because Element goes bullish and the whole ecosystem goes bullish, then the yield picks up. That's just how it works. And then now with E280 going OMNICHAIN, the potential shares you're going to get in that pool is going to rapidly increase as well. So there's a lot going on here, guys. It's always try and look 2 steps ahead. If you just look right now, you know, if you're playing, anyone here plays chess and you get attacked and that's someone's queen, for example, early on in the game, and you just hyper focus on one thing and you completely miss a better tactic. That's the way things are.
Yeah.
And by the way, this applies to Shogun as well, and all these index tokens. Like, I know there's people being bearish about the Shogun price. It's the same, like, it's the same concept. Okay, I'll say right now, like, let's say you're bullish on Dragon X, right? Or you're bullish on Inferno. Go to the Element Dragon X pair. We have, I'm sure, over 1% of the element suppliers in the LP, right? With Dragon X. So when Dragon X runs, Element's going to run. That's just the way these things work. So, yeah.
And taxes will be paid.
And taxes, exactly. Pay your tax. The tax man never leaves you alone, man.
Yeah. 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 And this is just a single chain. Like we were just looking at, like, how does Titan X look when we are on 10 chains? How does E280 look when we're on 10 chains? It, I mean,
it's looking crazy, man. It's looking crazy.
Yeah. Just tax across how many pairs, you know?
Taxing like
say,
too many pairs.
Yeah, I mean, 10 pairs on 10 chains, that's 100 LPs. 100. All paying taxes and arbitrage bots buying and selling to equalize that price.
Yeah.
And with new people coming in, new people building on X28, it's just
it's crazy. It's and like the amount of holders we have right now is so little. Like in Titan X, only what, 20K or something. Like, this stuff can go bonkers, man. crypto can go absolutely bonkers. And what happens to 30K holders, 40K, 50K, 100K? Who knows, right? Like, we're building the groundwork, it's here, and these users now have things to play with when they come in. And then the element holders are super low. Like, bruv, now you're making me bring out my London accent, man. Bruv, when this thing goes to, we can easily 2x the user base on Element. It's not hard at all. Like, it's so small. So,
yeah,
you know, apply some of that Metcalfe's law.
Yeah, Element is bullish on Titan X. Like, there's no way. Yeah, I'm trying to be chill on price talk or anything like that. I am bullish on Titan X. I can say that. Titan X is the shit.
That's it. And look, price is price. I'm not here to make any price sort of prediction or anything. I don't tell people to do their money, but all I'm saying, and if you want to take something away from this conversation, if you're bullish on Titan X, then by extension you need to be bullish on Element. That's just the way I see things. We have a question here from Keto. Slightly off topic. If the element supply goes down, does that make stacks more valuable?
Absolutely. Like, pull up.
Oh yeah, that's what I need to do. Pull up the stacks chart. Let's do that right now. Or do you want to pull up something else? Sorry, do you want to pull up?
No, that's what I was gonna say. You can look at, you know, the ratio. With
this ratio chart is crazy. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, with E280 doing what it's doing. So yeah, like its main pair is with E280. So if E280, I'm sorry, Element, its main pair is with Element. And if Element continues to burn and that supply gets smaller and smaller, the tokens in the Stacks LP aren't going anywhere. Like, the Stacks LP is just going to have a larger and larger share of Element tokens.
Goodness me.
That's diamond hand right there. You see any protocol in the ecosystem with a buy and burn, and you will see people selling into that buy and burn. Every single one, except Stacks. Like, that is the buy and burn is just running rampant. There's
a monster. Look at that. Just, I mean, and bear in mind, guys, you could have minted this. So this is the ratio chart here. You can see the ratio is currently at 4.3. You could have minted that 1-to-1 during mint phase. So people who minted that 1-to-1 have basically made effectively a 4x, right? So actually,
it's a little less than that because it was Titan X, not Element.
Yeah. I just realized when I said that. But you know, if Element goes up to 1-to-1 ratio, etc., then you know.
But that's the thing, and that's to answer Keto's question. Yeah, if Element gets burnt out and the supply shrinks and the value goes up, Stacks is bonded to it, so it would absolutely see that for sure. And that was by design. That's what we wanted with Stacks, is its pair with Element. The buy and burn, all the X28 that Stacks gets from all the staking pools, that can only do one thing: buy Element. And then with that Element, buy and burn Stacks. And we've got like 80,000 in the Stacks bank ready to be allocated to staking protocols. We're waiting for Ouroboros to launch to distribute those tokens.
Let's bring up.
Like, that's another exciting milestone is Ouroboros. 225 billion Titan X. Yep.
So that's gonna be a nice percent of that, I guess, is gonna go into Ouroboros and staking there.
Yeah, we're currently considering like 80% of that allocation. Maybe we go a little less because maybe, I don't know. It's going to be a big portion of it. Like, we want that to be a huge stake. Stacks to have a big stake in Ouroboros, because it's another sustainable protocol. Like, as people use it, it's generating yield from using the protocol. It's not like inflationary. They just capped the token minting, so now you can't get it anywhere else but off the market. which is fine for us as far as stacks goes, because that's all we do anyways is buy off market. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then forever, locked up forever, we're going to be buying and staking Ouroboros, forever earning fees. All those fees are going to be routing through Element to buy and burn stacks, generating more volume. And this thing is like a snowball. Like, it just started. And we're compounding positions, building positions. Think about this. You know, this is forever earning staking payouts, forever adding volume to Element. And then you look at the supply, there's only 476 NFTs.
It's like, look at this one, 476. And I have a feeling a fair good amount of these will be diamond held. So yeah, that is mental. 82% NFC backing. Like, do people know what that means? 82%, 8% liquid supply. Like, you know, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And the buy and burn has a balance. Staking payout, lots of just running down that. There's like Eden's got payouts coming up. Hyper's got payouts coming up. Blaze,
big one.
Helios is 420 payouts coming up pretty quick too. That's gonna sneak up on people. That one's got a nice fat stack of Titan-X in it.
And I think the Hyper one has quite a big payout in about a month from now, I believe.
Yeah,
which is bullish for stacks, bullish for matrix. So yeah, man, this stuff is gonna grow. Like, what I like about stacks is you can just leave it on its own and it just grows
by design.
It just grows. Yeah. Cool. I think is there anything else you wanted to go over, discuss, or
no, I think you've done a great job.
Sweet.
Just the key points, just hammering home, like Element token, Element NFTs, forever capped. Those are only going to be burned. That's how it is. E280 can only be minted from Element. Simple. And then the NFTs migrating, like, just watch the multipliers, watch your shares. You don't have to do anything. You can just sit, and if you're not sure, you know, you're still suspicious of this protocol and what it's going to do, just sit on it, sit on your NFTs and just see what happens, and watch your shares go up as people gold rush into base, you know. And yeah, like, it's even if one person goes over there and takes 100% of the rewards, and nobody else does, that's still one more person that's burned their NFT. That's less tokens on the market. It's good for everything.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, guys, that kind of wraps things up. I think dudes wrapped up quite well there. This is going to be a really interesting one. You know, I'm going to observe how this works. I really like the LP manager stuff. I'm so bullish on what this does for Element, and you know, I'm bullish on the expansion to X28. I think that's a big thing in the community right now, and there's so many ways to be bullish on this. So yeah, I think it's sick for NFC holders, it's sick for Element holders. It's just amazing. So thank you everyone who's come by and watched. I appreciate every single one of you. We're at 260 live viewers, which is absolutely bonkers. Like, 260 people are tuning in to watch. So thank you all. I do appreciate every one of you. Even the fudsters, like, I appreciate you guys come down here. Like, I'm on here, you know, and I'm open to talk about things. So I appreciate everyone, like the haters, the good people, like everyone's good. And thank you to everyone like Keto, Miss Whittle. I've seen a bunch of new faces and new names on here. Weaponhead, Utah, Rich, Prairie Banana, like all these people coming by to show their support. I really appreciate every single one of you. Big shout out to you guys. And I think we'll leave it at that until next time, guys. I do have a little thing I'm working on video wise, so watch out for that. Some of you might know there's going to be some content creators who are making some videos. Cryptographics mentioned it on a tweet, so I'm going to be participating in that. So I think that's this Friday, so I should have a video out this Friday, and that's on Ouroboros. Anyway, guys, have a good one wherever you are. If it's the morning for you, then good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everything, because we're worldwide. And take care, guys. Yeah. Thank you.
See ya.
Yep. See ya.